My berries are not up right now because I wanted to make some change before I do that. But meanwhile, let me make sure I make my little announcement as I do. We have a new merch out now. And I want to make sure that I get that advertisement running. Buy the berries, because it's related to the berries. Ooh, you can't see that. So we'll get that sorted pretty soon here. You know, honestly though, I should have probably made an order for myself first. But here we are. I'm gonna try to put a little banner that says go purchase this in a quote. Hey Void. All right. I'm gonna go over here, make some announcements. Stream viewer live now. Just getting started. And then we got Twitch link. I also, we'll see. I contacted a designer to see if I can get some brand merch figured out. Covino says, responds hi. Oh, hi, Covino. Welcome, welcome. Your first has been taken. Unfortunately, oh, shoot. I forgot. Hold on, guys. The first is not working because my berry folks are turned off. That's what happened. Sorry. I guess I'll refund you. I'll refund all of your 1 point redemption. Where is it? First, we'll refund Covino and Void. And then complete all. Just give me a second. It's coming online. I wanted to put the ad in here. Spawn. All right, we're here. We're here. First is claimable now. Again. My bad. My bad. I really need ways to kind of insert any kind of banner for advertisement outside of the program, I think. Oh, Covino got it. Sorry, Void. Your first has been stolen. It's brutal out here. Okay. All right, what I wanted to do, I guess for now, one thing I can do is just update my CloudBot to kind of make regularly scheduled messaging about merch. That's probably the first thing I can do without having the banner. Though I would love to show the product on the little advertisement, but, you know, it is what it is. We'll do a timed one. Merch. It'll say, get your Berry Folk mug now. Just Twitch subs get 15% off, I think. I'm not sure if I set that up correctly, but... And then it'll happen every 30 minutes. Should it be every 25 minutes, maybe? Oh. What is this? What's a response? Wait, what's the difference between response and message? Oh. Merch. And then let's have it run every 25 minutes. There you go. Sick. McCory says, he's alive. Yes, I am live. Unfortunately, Covino already took the first spot. McCory, I'm sorry. I should probably... the messaging should always say, like, who took the first. Voice says, damnation, I run out of data. Oh, I'm sorry. Just Covino says, double first. Yeah, exactly. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. It seems like the automatic ad will start in 50 seconds. So meanwhile, I shall figure this out. Ooh, I can gift. Ooh, I should probably do giveaway. Oh, Wait, what's up with that? I see a static. Hold on. Oh, my green screen thing is not working very well, it seems. All right, let me get the camera fixed. Filter, edit. It's hard for me to see. That's why I'm struggling here. Okay, I see a little bit of static. If I increase the similarity, it's still a little... it's blending into my clothes. The smoothness never works. No! Hold on, I got this. Just a second, just a second. I'm working on this. We're gonna do color key. Green or custom color? Custom color. We'll select this color right here. Cool. This is a little tricky. It does seem like it's really blending into my clothes a little bit. But alas, is that just what we can do? What if I increase this brightness? Is that going to make it... Ooh, that really makes it bright. Hold on. I got this. I do this. The dark greens are really getting handled here. Okay. This kind of sucks. I may... Man. Hello? How about I just do green? I mean, it's technically green? I'm struggling here. Don't worry. Just part of the normal lifestyle that we have. Okay. Maybe this will work better. Oop. I feel like this gotten worse. Hold on. Maybe I'll lower the brightness real quick. Little technical difficulties here we're handling. This looks okay. Looks fine, right? Maybe a slight bit more. It's hard to tell. There's a little bit of green down here, it seems, right? Like there's a little bit of green down here. Maybe if I up the similarity, it'll go away. I can kind of tell that there's a little fuzz. Gotta make sure those are taken care of. Oh no. If I... Hold on. Is that better? I lowered the smoothness. Okay, I think that's a little better. Yeah, there you go. Technical difficulty. Avoid it. All right. Kuvina says, yeah, he did. Voice says, hi, Mikori. Kelso says, hello, everyone. Hi. Static Ezra stream. Change shirt then. It's brown. It's not even green. Is this green? Maybe it is green. I thought it was brown. Kelso says, your shirt is green. Dang. Okay. Well, let me change my shirt. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, I'm back. This is definitely not green, right? Okay, YouTube's having some signal issue right now. It says, having trouble maintaining smooth stream. That is upsetting. But alas, how's Twitch? Hopefully Twitch is okay too. Okay, well. Our initial technical difficulties have been taken care of. We got our little merch design going on. Hopefully that'll be okay. I need to know, like, okay, so I set it up so that the Twitch subs get some percentage discount. But I don't know how much percentage discount actually happens. Okay, YouTube is still struggling. I wish one day I have absolutely no problem doing this ever. But alas, I think I'm asking for too much of this world. Yeah, I do think that the YouTube is having some loading issue. It's kind of unfortunate. Voice says buff Ezra. Am I buff? Am I looking buffer than I did in the beginning of my streaming life? All right, we're back on Dread on Arrival, by the way. I wanted to get to debugging our triangulation because I want to definitely do this one for my YouTube video so I can sort out everything. You know, the calculation is kind of interesting, but I actually failed the math on that one, so I had to get the solution from the internet instead. So we'll see. Buggy Bower says, hi, Ers. It's nice to see. Am I actually having connection issue? Buggy. Hi, Buggy. Welcome, welcome. I do think that I have connection issue, but alas, we'll be fine. I think we'll be okay. We'll make it work. Maybe if I don't move, it'll be okay. No? Doesn't help? Yeah, I figured it wouldn't work. Okay. So we were testing our space map, and I said I wanted to draw all the circles and triangles that gets drawn. So let's do that. Yeah, what? Hold on. Voice says yeah, but I'm not sure what yeah is for. Okay. So. How am I gonna do this? This is gonna be annoying. I do think that I just need to kind of break this apart a little bit. We said it's probably the triangulation thing. Triangulation helper. Which, we have a Delaunay's tester separately. This will help. So I'll use this. So on new point edit. Oh, okay. So I was already in the middle of doing this. This is great. I don't think these are getting connected anywhere yet. So let's see. BSP shuffle. And then we're saying BSP leaves pop back. We got the nodes and we're pushing it in. And then we're doing triangulate. Okay. Sick. I want to see what it looks like right now if I launch it. Buggy says, yeah, but here for the struggle. Oh, no. The lag is that bad, huh? Yeah, it's not looking good. Ugh. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to try to help my internet by disconnecting from the Wi-Fi on my phone. I doubt that's going to contribute to this at all. I wonder if there's anything else that's going on network-wise. But yes, I appreciate everyone who's here for the struggle still, regardless. Regardless of my issues. I mean, I figured that there's nothing else going on. Voice says, okay, as I'll be lurking today. Okay, bye. Sorry. All right. Okay. Let's see. Triangulate here. New triangle added. This one. Oh, okay. Signals are happening at least. New triangle edit gets signaled here. Oh, seems like I am actually doing all the signals here. That's pretty cool. New point edit. Nice. Circle drawn. Bad triangle detected. Edges removed. Oh, sick. Okay, so I already have all the signals out. I just need to draw them one step at a time, it seems. And let's see for the emit. I do think that we should probably pause and emit. Kelso says, did you change shirt? But why? I didn't see your body. What do you mean now you didn't see my body? I changed because I was blending into the background. Buggy says, there's about 3-minute delay on chat, FYI. Oh, wow. It says drop frames detected, 25% over 2 minutes. Something's definitely happening. It's not good right now, everyone. I'm trying. But I suppose. Oh no. Now do I push through hoping that eventually it'll restore, or do I just restart? You know? And there's also no guarantee that it'll work if I just restart. I don't know. Definitely caught in a hard place. Twitch says 5,900 bits. I feel like that's okay though. I almost feel like the YouTube is the issue here. Am I actually back now? You know, it's really hard to tell what's going on. I'm so sorry, everyone. I think the condition is better now, though. The connection seems more stable. So maybe this was a good thing. At least I'm back on YouTube. Maybe I'm back on Twitch as well. Back. Otherwise, we're going to keep going. Testing. I see you. Are you looking at the delay? It's okay now? Yeah. Weird. Maybe the way it started just didn't work. Buggy says, it seems like the chat is fixed. That's good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what was happening. Just bad connection, I guess. Happens. Okay. So one thing, these signals get triggered very quickly, right? Automatically. And I don't know why ad is saying that it's going to start. Ugh, whatever. I'm gonna snooze. Okay. The problem is that the signal comes through immediately and it doesn't wait for it to draw. So we're gonna have series of signals that are backing up. And I think what I'm gonna do here is have it record all the figures that needs to be drawn, and then draw them one at a time. So for example, it's like this. Func input event. Oops. event input event. And if event is, I don't know, action pressed, UI accept, then we're gonna redraw, queue redraw. And every time we queue redraw, I think we're gonna progress the draw. So that is var draw queue, which will be an array of, I don't know, callables. And on draw, which is right over here, draw callable is draw queue pop, because we're gonna push things into the front and pop the back like so. And then we're just simply going to call this, and then we're going to pre-bind all the things that we need to bind. So we'll do that. So that means on each of these steps, we can just push in a call command for drawing, I think. Hey, Godot, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, sorry. Things are a little messy here right now. We're just coming back again, trying to get into the vibe of things all over again. I'm gonna turn back the Discord. Hopefully I can turn on everything again. I'm gonna put on music here. Boop, boop. We're gonna develop some games. We'll call it a day, you know, as we do. It'll be great. Oh, by the way, I'm on vacation next Monday, so I won't be here on Monday. I'll be visiting California, having a nice, good old time. I'm going to open up this product page here, since Godot hasn't been here before. Godot, go buy my magical cup. Great design, yeah? Look at that. All right. Enough advertisement. Gonna get some music going. Lo-fi beats. Boom. There you go. Sick. Okay, so I was just saying this right here, input event. We're gonna... Ooh, we already have this. So I guess what we do instead is update the next, which is this. I don't know what this does right now. Triangulation next step. I don't think we do this anymore. Maybe it is okay. All right. It seems like I've put in more work than I initially remembered. Let me think about this. Like that. And this is just draw circle at position point, and then radius will do 5 pixel and color of, I don't know, white, and then it's going to be filled. All right, this is the thing. I guess this is better to do it with a bind, and then we're going to queue this up onto our draw queue. So draw queue, push front, boom. So we have a bounded stuff. And basically we're just going to do this over and over again, I think. On triangle added, this is simple. Draw queue, push front, draw polyline, where the vectors are whatever's in the triangle. So I guess we can make that. This one says packed vector 2 array. Triangle vector. I don't know how to create a new one of these. Oh, you can make it from the regular array. So I think I can go like this and then have it be triangle ABC. Triangle A, triangle B, triangle C. And because it's a triangle, I have to close out the loop by coming back to A. But this one is going to be passed through. Color, let's say this one is blue. Yeah, blue. I don't know about width though. Yeah, let's do 2 here. And we'll make sure it's bound like so. Okay. Next. I am using triangle. Why is it saying warning here? Local. Okay. Circumcircle. This one should be simple too. Draw Q. Push to the front. Draw circle. At circle dot position with radius equal to the circle's radius and color of green. We're just binding this. Push front. We'll see if this debugging steps work or not. Bad triangle was same thing as good triangle, except the color I think will be red here. Edges removed. This one might be a little bit trickier. I might have to redraw everything over and over again. Oh, these are a bunch of triangles. We got to do it for each one of them. These are triangles. Triangle in triangles. Do one of these things. Right? Yep. Like so. And then we're going to remove edges. That's a little bit trickier. Maybe instead of doing polylines, we should probably describe it as a line then. Here. Instead of doing draw Q, I'm going to do something else. Var lines, which will be dictionary. Because lines are... I do need to dedupe though. Because I want to be able to say remove this line versus write this line. So we'll have a lines, which will be a dictionary of some sort of string, and then it's going to be array of 2 vectors. Like so. And what we're going to get, line to draw. Nested. Oh, right. Like so. And then when the triangle gets added, instead of the draw polyline, we'll just add it to add the lines. Where we go, triangle, generate edges, which already does the whole sorting thing. It's going to be an array of arrays that are already sorted. So we'll do that. Triangle, generate edges. And then for edge in this list, right, because it's A, B, B, C, and AC. A, B, B, C, AC, yeah, 3 lines that are always consistent. We'll get, I think we can create a key from the edge. Let me just make sure I do that. Yeah. So var key, which is a string, will equal to edge A plus comma edge B. Suppose this should be edge A position. Like so. I think that should work. Embed operand vector 22. Can I just make string version of vector? Will that work? It's gonna give me a warning. All right, cool. So we'll say line to draw. Key will equal to the edge, which is an array of POI, right? These are array of, oh wait. These are array of vectors. POI triangle generate edges will give array of arrays. That means edge A. What does it think it is? Line. Where's this coming from? There you go. Weird. Okay. Krolk, hey, hello, Ezra Devra. How goes it, Berzaiden? It's going well. Uh-oh. Best viewers. Okay, let me bend our little bots out here. We're doing well. We're just writing our little debugging thing so we can visualize our triangulation to see where it's going wrong. So a little bit of tedious work here, just making sure everything is drawn one at a time. There's going to be an ad running. I'm going to snooze this for the 3rd time here. This is the last snooze I have. So it'll be okay. But yeah, hi Krolk. And I think Berry folks. I'm just making sure all the Berry folks are spawned in now. Okay. Value of type map line. Why is this a map line now? This one is array of array. I never. Oh. I said generate edges. I need to get edges. Whoops. Get edges. Like so. That's why it got really confused. Okay. Let me. It should be like this instead of A and B. There you go. We're turning vector into string. We got the key. We're drawing the key, and then we're providing that array of vectors as a value. And then for edge removed, we need to remove it. We go line to draw, erase the key, which is created by this way. We'll go for edge in removed edges. We'll just simply make a key out of the edge as we usually do. Yep. Do that. Lines to draw. Triangle detection. I'm not really sure what about this one. I think I'm just gonna pass on. Yeah, pass on this. Drawing circle. I guess I could just push, well, yeah. We'll just replace the circle drawing. Var circle to draw will be circle. Get rid of this real quick. And then this one, instead of pushing it, we're just gonna circle to draw will equal to the circle itself. New points to edit. That one, we don't have to worry about that, I think. Potentially. Because drawing of the triangle will... well, actually, I should probably... Here. Our points to draw will be array of vector 2. And then we'll just add to it. Like so. All right. So instead of doing this, we're going to try to draw these three things. Points to draw first. If points to draw and points to draw is not empty, then for point in points to draw, which is vector 2, draw circle at the position of the point. These are vectors, so it's already a vector 2, and then we're going to do 3 pixel wide with a color that is white and that is filled. Thanks for the hydrate makery. Maybe I rushed it. I don't even know how to drink water anymore. Color white. Nice. And then next up, we're gonna draw the edges. Lines to draw here. Lines to draw. Should probably do it this way, like that. We're drawing. Gotta just make sure these things exist over here whenever we're updating. Okay, I think that should work. Because that's a big cup. Exactly. We need all the water we can get. Ads starting here in 50 seconds. Just an FYI. Line to draw. That is a dictionary of key to actual array of vectors. So we're going to say var, or not var, for array, line array, or line in line to draw values. We're going to say line. Probably just go draw line and say line dot, what's the parameter? From to 2. And color, I think this one would also be, I don't know, blue for now. With 1, 4, I don't know. Next up, for circle in, it's probably just circle. If circle is non-zero, we go circle, or draw, circle, where circle position, or circle to draw, actually, circle to draw. And then provide us radius, color green, false. All right, let's see how this works. I want to see if this just kind of breaks immediately or not. Loading forever. That's always a great sign. Okay, map size, I don't know where it froze. Is it freezing over here? Oh, it's not even coming down here. Let's see. Okay, we go down. Oh, this is still running. Okay, generate room. Oh, for some reason this generate room logic is taking forever. Oh, it's because it has no size. Whoops. I think we need to go minimum room size would be, I don't know, this divided by, well, I guess I could just provide this. Let's say minimum room size is 100 by 100. I don't know how many we popped in there. 20 points, okay. All right. Intentiate. Of course. Our infamous method called intentiate. Spelling it, I think spelling is my biggest op, honestly. Okay, we can't turn vector into string, apparently. Or we can't add... Okay, well, that makes sense. So we'll just make it stringify it so that it expands. Boom. Again. All right. Okay. A big triangle. Little dot. Circle. Edge. Hold on. Why is it so... Okay. I need to zoom out a little bit. There's clearly some issues here, but definitely need to zoom out. Let's temporarily make this project window full 1080 here. Oh, it is 1080. Huh. Why is it not staying within the scope of the window? What did we say the size was? Tester. The map size is 1200 by 800. I don't think we need an offset, do we? Let's see what happens here. Yep. Okay, this is a little bit more acceptable. Still a little bit... Not really sure what's happening here. Something's happening. I don't know what that is. Like why it's going all the way there. Just gonna make sure. I guess that makes sense why it's doing that, but here we'll make this 20 by 20, and then we're gonna offset it by 800 by 800. Coral says it's just a little quirky. Yeah, it's just a quirky little thing. No, can't accept this. Does offset even work? I don't think offset is working at all. Oh, it is working. How is it so big still? Hold on, 200 by 200. We're going to reduce this significantly. We're going to make it 400 by 400 space. Minimum space 20 is okay. And then we'll see what it does. All right, we can make it taller, it seems. Offset is kind of working. It's huge. Why is it so big? I mean, nothing wrong with being big. Okay, one point got added. Something got added. Circle is being drawn on a super circle. And a new line has been drawn, but then it's like all the way up there. Which I'm like, okay, what's happening here? All right. Okay, we definitely need to see the whole picture. That's not enough. Use space character for indentation. Oh. Why is it so big? It's so huge. 200 by 200. Offset 100. Let's make 10 points, and then let's make it 10 by 10. Or 5 by 5 as the smallest. Oops, wrong one. Okay, well that's tinier for sure. Let's see if this is more manageable. Okay. I feel like more I offset this, it just makes the triangle bigger instead of shifting the whole thing. Yep. Okay. Huh. Why are you doing that? I just wanted to shift the whole thing. Okay. I mean, that's where the positions of the points would be. It seems like the triangulation likes to... I guess I should probably do it like this. Draw offset, which is a vector 2. Will be vector 2 of, let's say, 100 by 100. And I'll just apply that to this instead. And hopefully that'll give us what we need. All right. Okay, almost there, almost there. 500 here. We'll make this a little bit bigger. 500 by 500. Do 20 by 20 here. No offset. Sick. Okay. 1 point. A circle. A mystery line. A mystery edge. What is this about? Another one. Circles drawn. I mean, it's... Okay, I'm not really sure about these mystery edges that was just being drawn. I would say that's definitely a bug. Something's happening. It's trying something, but it makes no sense. It's doing something, but it absolutely makes no sense. Uh-huh. All right. Looks pretty cool. Cool lines there, bruh. But it's not exactly what I wanted. Okay. All right. Let's see what's actually happening here. So on our triangulation logic, we got triangulate here. Super triangle gets drawn. So first thing we get is the super triangle, I think. So that's when we launch it. Triangulate. Debug is true. We triangulate here. So first thing it does is it emits a triangle at it, and then we wait on next step. Right, so first thing, a big triangle is drawn, and then we're waiting on next step. Go down here, and then new point is added, and then it's going to stop. Boom. So there's the new point that got added. It got added over there. It's waiting on it. If I press spacebar again, hold on. Triangle, super triangle got added. A point got added. Comes over here. The next stop is Delane check, which is find circumcircle here. Which emits this. Because there will be one triangle here. So if I go spacebar, comes over here, there's single triangle. Is going to try to check how good or bad the triangle is here by drawing a circle. I guess I should do a debug next step here, I guess. Resume. So my expectation is to get a circle drawn there after this. But it's not happening. This is triggered. Find circumcircle gets triggered. So circumcircle drawn gets triggered, which comes over here. Oh, I want to Q redraw here. Yeah. Okay, that's why. We drew a circle. This is a bad triangle because there's a point inside of a triangle. So that's... We're going to have to do bad triangle thing. So we're going to do bad edges. We need that debugged because the detection of what it thinks is the edge that needs to be removed needs to be clear. Bad triangle. We're going to say bad triangle. Our current, or not current bad triangles, I guess. Does it get removed? No, it doesn't. Let's see. This third one is the problem. Okay. Why is debugging a debugger is much more complicated than debugging the actual problem? This is saying that this is a bad signal. Error calling from signal bad triangle detected to callable. Okay. Array of POI triangle. Oh, whoops. It's a wrong call here. Definitely need this. I think whenever we see this, we probably just want to draw a bad triangle here. Var bed edges, which will be array of vector 2 here, which gets assigned. I just wanted to flash red real quick. Bad triangle detected will be same thing as on new triangle edit. Basically this. For triangle in triangles. Go through each of the thing. Instead of doing this and creating key, I think I just add bad edges, push back the edge, then Q redraw, like so. We refresh on every bad triangle detection. So we go over here. If this and is not empty, we're going to draw for bad line in bed edges, which is just this red, I think. Invalid operand float and vector to bed edges. This is not a float. This is a vector too. Vector. Oh. I gotta do this. Like so. Okay. There you go. Okay. That line is not. Hold on. This should actually be array of array. Oops. If bed edges exist. Oh, we were right then. Gotta rewrite this to be array of array. Okay. So we're going to have a red line drawn for this one in particular. And we got to make sure here the circle will be drawn. Here the bad triangle will be drawn. Okay. Let's see. Triangle, point, circle, bad circle. And then what's next? Lines removed, right. When the line gets removed, guess super triangle, I want to see the line being removed real quick. Triangle, triangle, triangle. Sorry. It's pretty complicated in here. Okay. So we got this bad triangle has been drawn. For each of the bad triangle, we're getting a bunch of edges that we want to remove. So we said edges removed. We signaled that out. On edges removed here, I want to check that those some edges are removed. Sometimes it doesn't have anything, I guess. And then we're redrawing it. Right. Okay. Nothing's getting removed. That's okay. Because I just want to drop line from here to here, here to here, here to here. That's what we're looking for. Instead, we're drawing line over here. So the line was supposed to be drawn this way, but it got drawn over here, which is the main issue, I think. I mean, that makes sense why there would be a bug. Though it's a mystery how it worked at all with this bug. I guess it's not my job to question it. So nothing got removed, and then the next step is drawing of the lines here. Okay. So new triangle we're adding is we're grabbing the edges. What are the edges? Okay, let me remind myself what's going on here. So the edges are dictionary of edge. Okay, so these are literally the edges that are newly being added. And we're saying, hey, we are creating a new triangle. because edges are... Huh? Wait, hold on. How does... Oh, right. Okay. So the new triangle we want to create should include these edges that are now a pairless, okay? So it's like incomplete triangle. We just created an incomplete triangle here. And this triangle needs a new point here. And then once that new point is added, then we want to draw the triangle. That's why I was missing a C. This might work better. There you go. New point gets added. It's drawing between these three. This passes. It passes this one. It doesn't pass this one. So this is the bad triangle. We have nothing to remove. We're just going to connect those points. Okay. All right. We got the proper debugging going now. All right. So it's drawing this one, drawing this one, drawing this one. Not quite correct, but it's okay. All right. This one doesn't pass. So we got this triangle now. And then we're connecting these. Sick. New point got added on the line here. So these are bad. So we're gonna... What needs to happen is that we need to get rid of this line in between and leave the outer layer alone. Right. Okay, so bad triangle. Hold on. Bad triangle is kind of in the way. We're gonna get rid of the bad triangle when we're adding or when we're removing edges, so we can kind of visualize it better. When edges are being removed, we're gonna do this. Okay. All right. I think it's just working now. Okay. Yes, that's correct. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then from each of the points, we need a new line, right? Yes. This is outside of the triangle. Okay, that means the super triangle formula is kind of wrong. Because our super triangle was supposed to be all within... Our super triangle is supposed to encapsulate the entire points. So that might... I can see how that could cause a bug. Yeah, because the whole thing... The whole making becomes tricky. Like that. Yeah, this is where the bug is starting to happen, I think. Yeah, because otherwise it's working properly. That was the only surprise, this one right here. Hi, Lloyd. Welcome. Lloyd Noir. Welcome, welcome. Sorry, I'm just trying to debug my triangulation method here. So it's not super exciting, but it is what it is. Who? Well, I read it as hi, so it's whatever. Hi, Lloyd. Yeah, seems like that's it. I'm gonna revisit my super triangle formula to make sure that the triangle is definitely drawing on top of all the points. So we have triangulation here. is going to create a super triangle with the points. And these points are over here. We said basically we're going to get the extremities of the points, meaning we're looking for the topmost, bottommost, leftmost, and rightmost. And I was representing it as like two vectors here, but I don't know. Maybe that's not the way to do it here. Upper leftmost. If the point's position is less than leftmost, then we're updating this to this. Cool. If the Y position, where it is smaller than upper left, then we're updating its Y. If the X is greater than the bottom right, yes. If it's greater than bottom right, yes. And then we're padding it by doing -20. Oh, thanks for the follow, Lloyd. And then we're padding it by doing +20, +20. So the new triangle we want to draw, I mean, this is the rectangle size, bottom right minus upper left. That's correct. The triangle we're drawing is... That's correct. Yeah. And then we're increasing it by double, I think. The point A. Lloyd says, how long are you doing programming? Oh, how long have I been doing it? I've been programming for like 13 years, 14 years. I mean, seriously, 13 years? If I include like schooling, probably more like 20 years. I'm old. I've been doing this for a while now. Okay. So triangle A, that's the center top piece of the isosceles triangle. Upper left position. Yes. From there. Oh, it's the bottom left, I guess. Minus the rectangle size half. Oh. Bottom right position. Okay. The point is bottom right position's Y. And then upper left position X. Minus the rectangle size? That seems wrong. I think I have made some mistakes here. Not calculator. I need to draw this out real quick. Because at the time I was doing this, I think I got a little confused, potentially. That's a possibility. I get confused all the time. Okay. So if we have a bunch of points, what I did was I basically drew a rectangle like this. And then I padded it by 20. So we go like that. So we have this point and this point where this is 20. And what I'm saying here is that the triangle that would include everything goes like this. Oops. Where this point is touching each other. So this point is this is the upper left. So X is upper left X minus this value, which is unknown right now. And then the bottom is bottom right. Y, which is correct, I think. Lloyd says, any experiences you can share from career life? Would love to hear. Sorry that disturbing the thinking. No, it's okay. I think that's actually a very common question that people ask anyways. I think if you go to my YouTube, I do have a thing. I mean, you're gonna have to dig through it. One of my first videos is me talking about talking about my experience in working in Amazon and Google for 10 plus years. And basically, my consensus currently is saying, I'm not gonna go back. I don't want to go back, and for reasons. But I wouldn't say, oh, because of my experience, don't go back, everyone. That would be unfair. Because I'm only able to say I don't want to go back because I made some money and such while doing the work. Have a proper expectation. You're not going there to change the world. You're going there to make a paycheck and gain experiences. And through that, sometimes you get lucky enough where you actually enjoy what you're doing and it feels impactful and everybody is appreciating the work you're doing, not just as an engineer, but as an individual. But that is not the expectation. So, yeah, I don't know. If you have more specific question, I can answer. But, you know, there's a thing about career. Succeeding in career doesn't necessarily mean being great in the field. There's something to be said about real skill that the corporate and the career cares about is not your ability to code or how smart you are, but rather how well you follow the rules. And that is a skill on itself. So I've seen plenty of smart people not pass the interview or not survive at work. And I have seen plenty of not so great people succeed extremely well. I mean, that's usually very much the case. So I don't know. It doesn't necessarily mean if you succeed you're a bad person. It just means, you know, it's a type of skill set that you require, which is separate from. So if you feel really proud of like being a great coder or an engineer or whatever, like that's just for self-fulfillment rather than anything. And if you want to make something out of it where you want to feel like, I want to make product where I feel fulfilled by, you know, making great code and such, then, you know, there's a different field for that. Let's see. Okay, so this D, I think, what I'm saying is double this, right? This distance times 2. And this distance happens to be size x divided by 2. So that's why we did ul.x minus size x divided by 2 here for the x value. Size x divided by 2. Size x plus 2. That's why it goes all the way over here. Y is bottom right y. That's the same. Middle would be the distance between the two. So right here, which is bottom right x plus... Ooh, okay, I need to do proper parentheses here. This is probably why it's wrong. And then... Oh, wait. Oh, it's right here. So it is correct. And then the y would be left y position times 2. Actually, it should be minus the size y. Yeah, that might be it. Let's test it out. Lois says, well, yeah, you're right. For some time, I was dreaming to work at Google, although with the time I realized working at Google, I am not going to change the world, not sooner or later. Currently working in US-based AI research lab we had released recently, and I am feeling very valued here as well. We have like less than 30 employees, and what I do, I see results. Yeah, that's great. I mean, if you can find somewhere that you feel fulfilled and feel like you're properly rewarded for, that's the American dream, I say. Now, of course, you know, the influences do come as you get bigger, companies get bigger. external investors start asking for revenues, because, you know, reality is that the companies need to make money, right? As those things come through, you start to get into this space of like, okay, well, realistically, in order for us to make and retain, we need to make profit or impress the investors. So we have to pretend that we're making values. Then, you know, people start to pay attention to different things. When I say people, I mean companies. And that could really lead into a space where you start to see, oh man, I don't like where it's going, but I understand. So I choose to not partake in this anymore. Okay, I think that was a bug. A single bug that was breaking everything was that little triangle calculation. So I think my super triangle was a little bit smaller than it should have been. Now there's not a single point that's isolated anymore. Yay, I fixed it. Okay, great. So my procgen for star map, or constellation, I suppose, is now working properly. Now I can make videos on this. Yay. Sick. It's funny that I had to draw all this out in order for me to actually understand what I was doing wrong. Krolk says, I look away for 10 minutes and that became one wacky triangle. Which one? The my paint one? Hey, wacky triangle is where it's at. Lois says, actually from Armenia, by the way, 100%. Hope that won't happen here, although so far everyone are ambitious. I mean, it's kind of hard to avoid just because as you get bigger, unless you're like companies very restrictive on, I will not take anyone who is about to bring, yeah, funding is a big component. But as you get bigger, or as you try to impress people who are trying to give you funding, companies often do this, right? Especially if you're not really close, if the leadership is not at the ground level. Think about it. You're like, okay, I just brought in an exec from a big company as part of our young company. The anticipation is, wow, that's a good thing because this smart, quote unquote, smart person who has a lot of experience in making a lot of money in big company is here to make new roadmap and new plans. But they bring the corporate culture that they're used to, because the part of the pride of, hey, thanks for the sub, Bezzy. Sorry, my notification is a little janked up right now. It doesn't say any name. But the whole thing is like, okay, what brought in the corporate culture, they're going to be like, oh, I've been working for like 20 years and this worked for company ABC. And I think this will be the next step for our small company to become big and medium, so we can be profitable and efficient. And that's when the transitions start to happen, depending on what they bring in. Because it's like, oh, this like toxic corporate, not toxic, I suppose. I mean, to me it's toxic, but this like depersonalized approach to employee and product care start to be disconnected from what the clients actually want and what the people on the ground level is saying what they actually want, and you get into that space. So yeah, it's a real struggle. It is a real struggle. Anyways, okay, so we have a space map here. We got our roguelike version now. Hopefully, is always great. So, all right. And guess what? I think because we just finished our little AI logic thing, I think we're in a good spot to start implementing more enemy types or AI types. Okay, I don't know just what happened. I don't know why the AI is not working. Oh, did I make some code change recently that I didn't realize I did? That's a possibility. Okay, this is space map. We don't care about that. Our navigation battle here. AI logic over here. I think I might have removed some states here. Croak says the one you were stepping through. Oh, I see. Yeah. Busy Mini says, I saw you in my recommended collect. Oh gosh, I can't read. Busy says, saw you in my recommended, click through VOD and looked like actual game dev, so I wanted to check out your channel later when it's not midnight for me. Will this VOD be up for later viewing? Yeah. All my live stream is automatically posted. I don't know. I have a second thought about it. I know a lot of people still watch me as a VOD, but part of me is like, should I make a summarized version instead of like posting the full raw version? Because like, I feel like, yes, if you're watching it live, there's this whole like participation part of the viewing experience that's kind of fun. But, you know, if you're just watching it as a separate VOD, then it could be kind of boring. So, I don't know. Lloyd says, yeah, I'm 20 and don't really have much experience, but so far had worked with big company and in startups. I hated work in the big one. Had less important things to do, was learning less, although had good team. In startups, it is hell, but you learn so much. I do think a lot about money for now, as I kind of started from 15, this field. Currently trying to improve math skills to go deeper in ML. We'll see how it goes. Well, you don't really need math too much just to do ML unless you are trying to be a researcher. And even that math is like, you really need to go deep on that. The whole like ML field, like what we call a neural network, right? Because that's the assisted and non-assisted learning mechanism. It's been around for over a decade. Over 2 decades even. I mean, it was out since the concept of neural network was out since the beginning of the computing. We just didn't have the resource to actually implement it for a while and experiment. And I think like 5 to 10 years ago, when people started to work on like audio processing and visual computing, they started to see the benefit of classification through machine learning. And that's when it started to become popularized again, I think. And then, of course, Gen AI, speech pattern, like that's an accident that happened. But once again, like the only time you use math for it is to calculate the probability or like the quote unquote statistical correctness. So, hey, if that's something you're interested in, go for it. But I'm just letting you know you don't have to know. Lloyd says, you're right. Abstractly, in high level, I am good. Maybe I cover that as I want to go deep in ML, but yeah, maybe personal goal. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Even so, it's funny because in the beginning, when I've graduated college for computer science, back in the day, more than 15 years ago, I did this like, for my school, they started doing an online graduate course, so I decided to go into graduate course, and I was interested in machine learning, so I did the machine learning. I did first few classes, but I was working at the same time, so I was like, oh, I can't do it. But what I remember though, the whole mathematical part wasn't covered even at graduate level at the beginning. It's more applied, unless you want to know, I think. Krok says, I want to make a demake of Minecraft to run on a Sega Saturn. Oh, interesting. Sega Saturn. Huh. I have a sneaking suspicion that out of all the 5th gen consoles, it'll work best on that due to its weird quirks, so I need to learn CompSci. I'm not familiar with Sega Saturn. CompSci concepts are very helpful. I try to cover as much as computer science basic stuff as much as possible on my channel, on my YouTube videos at least. I don't know if you noticed, but recently I did the whole like data structure one, which is a little bit of a risk for me because I know most of my viewers are game dev viewers with coding experience. So if I start to delve into this like, okay, well, this is not exclusively game dev stuff. I mean, I'm talking in the context of game dev, but like understanding CompSci concepts are still very helpful, even if you're just doing it for game dev. So I don't know. I feel a little mixed. It's like, I know it's not going to be as popular initially, but I want to make sure I teach these things or talk about these things to people who might otherwise dismiss it, you know? So that's where I'm at with it. So I guess that's a long way to say follow along. Maybe there will be something. All right. Well, we're 1 hour into the stream, so this is a good point to tell you. I released a new merch. Here's a mug. If you're into quirky little design, I know if you have no context, it means nothing, but this is our, I don't know if you noticed, but we have a little berry folks down here, which is our little group's community's name. And Wizardberry is one of them. And they're known for their creepiness. So I made one where a creepy berry is cooking up Godot to make games. Little thing. It's holding a wand. You notice that this is actually a node icon. The little blue circle. So yeah, a little Easter egg there. Go buy our creepy mugs. All right, that's it. That's the ad for today. All right. Okay, so I gotta get back into AI here. Let's see where it's actually getting stuck, because it was working before, so I'm a little bit confused why it decided not to move on. I guess first thing is to see if our state machine is getting stuck. So we were going to player resolve AI main. I want to see if AI main, AI resolve, and AI compute is happening. Not that. I suppose we could do it on the navigation combat tester. It's great that I made these little testing environment because it helps me not having to do the whole thing again. But yeah. Okay. Explosion works. Let's see. We can fire a missile. Right. AI's turn. Okay. It seems like it definitely is struggling to move on from the execute for some reason. It didn't even come to here. I'm a little bit puzzled why it's doing that. So let's see, on our combat state, we got to AI main. Oh, the action finished, I think, is the issue here. For each of the environment, oh, yeah. Okay. Environment is combat environment. Right, that's the new thing that I was adding. That's right. That's why. Okay. I'm gonna see which one of these extends this. We only have one here. We just need to action finished emit. Environment is done. Yeah, okay, that should do it. Lloyd Norris says, yeah, methods needed only in case you want to do some research and do some groundbreaking development. I think I really like playing around with what we have, solving problems, but I think understanding how things work is essential. So yeah, I really like the idea of LLM agents parallel work to solve some problem. Example, Google's Alpha Evolve was so interesting. Yeah, they are definitely interesting. I think the first time I got super interested into AI was when they had the Go player. Remember, there was a whole project where the frontier of defeating Go champion, Google was developing that. That was machine learning initially, and that was a while back. That was a big buzz, but at the same time, people didn't really comprehend the use case for it. And then now we're all jumping on Gen AI. I really think Gen AI needs to die down a little bit because it's definitely overhyped in terms of what people think it can do. But yeah. Quark says the Sega Saturns is the same generation as PS1 and 64. Oh, pretty old. The thing that made me want to make a demake is that instead of rendering tries, it renders in quads. Oh, really? Oh, that does seem pretty kind of appropriate. Quads are kind of interesting. Rendering in quad seems a little bit, because try is like you can make quad with tries, I guess. I don't know. Lloyd says, I hate Gen AI. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Well, I'm not a fan of what the world is doing with it, and I am ready for it to kind of find its proper space. It's definitely confusing people for now. Okay. Croc says, yeah, it's super weird. To make a try, you have to make 2 points the same. It's very weird. It also has 2 CPUs and 2 GPUs. Interesting. It is a very strange console. I don't know. Like, if you make it for that console, do you actually get to play it on the console, or are you trying to emulate it? Or are you playing it on an emulator? What is it? I think this requires one more thing here. It emits action finished immediately. Environment, if action finish gets triggered. Okay. Hopefully this will work. Let's see. Because that was basically what was causing the AI to be stuck. All right, so we'll do... I'm just going to end turn real quick and see what happens. Okay, still freezing, and I think it's because of the racing condition. So by the time this executes and it reaches over here and it's awaiting on this trigger, if the code is simple in this abstracted class, it's going to wait forever here. So we need some ways to say, hey, is it executing? So we'll be like, if is environment is running, right? Then we want to do this. On AI main here, which is the abstract here, I think what we need to do is have a built-in function that says reset execute, which will be is running equals false, and we'll have is running false to begin with. And when this gets triggered, it's going to listen to itself. So we'll say func ready action finished. We're gonna connect that to on action finished here, and then we're gonna create that. And then we'll say is running becomes true on this, or actually other way around, like so. And basically, it's gonna check is running. If it is running, we wait on it. Otherwise, we don't. And so if the trigger happens first, then it won't get stuck. That's the idea. Carl says, I just need to know what I'm doing. Lol. Let's see if we can help. What is happening that is confusing for you, Krog? Or is it confusing, or you just haven't even started? You're just kind of anticipating potential problem. Okay, nice. AIs are working properly now. We're going to launch some missile here. We're going to move out of the way real quick. Sick. Lloyd Noir says, even in game dev, I think Gen AI is great use for secondary props to not waste time. For example, some background 3D objects for scenes. I don't know. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Sorry, my mic is a little loose here. I changed the position of the mic and it's starting to get a little bit loose. So let's see. Lloyd says, I think a good usage is to create background assets, generate hard video effects, essentially help with creative work, but not those brain rot videos, images. Yeah, I got the point. Yeah, I mean, there's part of that. I still think, okay, so here's a personal thing. As someone who does enjoy creating my own assets and having like a very strong creative or art direction and cohesiveness of the art direction. There's a part of it where it's like it's great for demo and great for just like quickly putting together a prototype and experience to be like, hey, this is about the experience that you can expect. Before launching, I do think that all of it has to be replaced. Because it's hard not to notice. At least for me, it's like, I don't know what to say. Like, it's probably good for most people, right? Or a lot of people. But people who really love the medium would notice and get distracted by that. And so the argument is like, are you making it for general public, and how much of that general public are you making it for? And for me, I'm making games for like artistic purposes. So it doesn't work for me. I don't think I would. I mean, as what I've seen so far, I don't think what the AI nowadays can do satisfies me at all. But you know, that's my issue, I suppose. Oh shoot. Okay, I'm gonna have to move out of the way real quick. I guess can I repair this? Wait, why can I not repair? Oh, it's not broken. Okay, cool. Oh, okay. Hold on. It's gonna be a little tricky here. Because I'm doing this because next turn this ship is gonna come to here, and then I'm set for blowing it up. And it's leading away from the thing. Though I actually don't know what the order of operation is right now. Okay. I'm gonna just leave actually. FTL'd. Nice. Okay, so we are getting somewhere. Nice. I love that. Who cares YouTube says one day AI will generate me a happy meal without me having to pay for it. Yeah, hopefully. Lloyd says design language? Design language? Wait, what are we talking about? Lloyd says, yeah, I agree. I meant for assets such as generate variations for some ready assets, generate a small 3D assets for environment design, prototype quickly, create sketches, etc. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I have been pretty vocal about not wanting to use it as much as I can. Just, okay, there's one thing about, okay, so AI still hasn't caught up legally of what it means to mass produce after learning from things that are not quite public. So that's one thing. It's a little bit iffy. But you know what's funny? While I've been vocal, recently I got contacted by these like 3D assets AI generator company being like, I want to partner with you, Ezra. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. There's no guarantee that I'm gonna give you like good review, but you pay me flat fee, I'll do a video. So we'll see. You'll see how that goes. It might not get approved, but we'll see. Let's see. Who cares? No. Brainoid says, hi, consultant. Hello, Brainoid. Oh, you haven't filled a form. By the way, I do. I am planning on doing game dev consultation thing. And there's a Google Doc somewhere. I already have 3 people, so I emailed them. Emailed every one of them who wanted it. So we'll see how that goes. It's my first one. I'm a little bit excited about it. I do wonder how much information I can provide. Hey, Fernando already signed up. All right, I'll take a look. I used the Google Calendar's like appointment feature, which I've never used before. So I wonder if it's gonna work properly. At least it didn't notify me, so that's already a bad sign. Brandon says, yeah, my game's getting released in 2 weeks. I don't think I'm a good candidate. Yeah. That's, wow. Okay, we got something here. Nice, sick. Okay. But, you know. Branoid, which game is it again? Can you remind us? Links are available now, so you can share the link if you like. We got to support our community. And feel free to share them on our Discord as well. I'll try to echo your message. Service agreement. Anyways. Brandon says, it's this one. All right, let's see what you got. Oh, wait, how come this doesn't look familiar? Okay, I'm going to add it to wish list. Oh, this is a good I see. This is the Blotcher inspired unique game. It's still your own form. It's not definitely Blotcher, but like something about the whole scoring and the UI is very much inspired by Blotcher, I see. But it looks very different still. Looks fun. Is it a stamp collection? This is cute. Hold on. I hope you do well. This is going to be great. Is there any particular reason you chose November 18th? How long have you guys been working on this? Matching cards. Okay, so this is still a card game. So for a moment I thought it was like stamp, like it's like inspired by some sort of like stamp or like mail stamp idea, like a stamp collection because of the little squareness. But I guess it's more of a card game. Okay, pretty cool, pretty cool. Brandon says, "Is it your birthday?" I'm a solo dev. It's been a year. I see. I see. Wow, good job. Looks good. Lois says, dang, I love pixely design. I hope the sound will be good too as a design. I hope so. I like the sparkles. It's got some good stuff going on. Nice little sketch look. It is definitely cute. Color palette is nice. I'm guessing this is a shader in the background with some noise that's rolling. Are these sparkles? Okay. I gotta see the video actually. Let's take a look. Okay, it's very satisfying. It's great. Cute. Okay, it's like a match 2. Oh, it's a match 2. Okay. That's pretty cool. Pretty good sound effects. Did you edit the ad or the trailer yourself? Or did you pay for it? Brandon says, thank you. Yeah, I mostly went for paper-like feeling. I think that's a great idea. Some pizzazz probably helps, but you know, how much do you do that? Like, this is good enough, right? I'm trying to see. I wanted to make one comment. You say you have 2 weeks left, so I'm not going to say too much. Those pop-up text, you know, when the point goes and then you show the points that are getting added, I think it can be brighter. Like the contrast of the text, the font can be stronger. I'm not really sure. I'm colorblind, so maybe it's like, I'm not full colorblind, but so take my opinion with a grain of salt. But part of me, okay, this is what it feels like. Overall, it looks great. And I love the vibe. I love the feel. It's very cohesive. Color palette is great. But at the same time, I don't know. I mean, this is like just artistic direction, so it doesn't really matter. To me, visual dynamic range feels pretty pastel-y, which is okay if that's the view. Pastel-y means, for me, the visual dynamic is the brightest and then the darkest, right? Feels a little bit narrower. So if this is black, this is white, and then this is every color in between, every brightness in between, I feel like you're using maybe like one third of that range, which makes it so that it's like really peaceful to look at and cozy. But then some of the text, like there's some room that you can use to like make it pop a little more. It's like that feeling of like, oh, I have something on my eyes and everything is a little bit hazy type of feel. Maybe it's okay. That's all I have to say about that. But it looks good otherwise. Brano says, yeah, mostly went for paper-like feeling. Nah, this trailer was made by a publisher. Oh, great. You are working with publisher. Lloyd says, it has got the gambling-ish vibes. Now I want to play it. This is an announcement trailer, by the way, not the actual trailer. Oh, I see. That's great. Brando says, yeah, good feedback. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. I know this far into the development. What can you do about that? I'm so sorry. It's just something to consider. Because as a visual, like, you know, I like to do like art stuff, whatever. And I'm not saying that I'm good at it. I'm not good at it at all. But it is one problem that I struggle with all the time that I have to do post-processing on. Where if I'm painting for a long time, like it looks good, but then I think it's part of it is like my eyes get used to adjust it to the color so that it automatically does the bright and the dark. But when I come back to it, it's like, oh my gosh, everything is like cloudy, and I have to go to the tone correction and do the level curve to make the brights brighter and the darks darker, and then the contrast be a little bit harsher so that it feels more like, you know. Brando says, game was monitored by very experienced visual people I trust, so I'm not worried about it. Okay, great. Hey, look, if that's fair. It's a nitpick if I have to provide any feedback. If you're using professionals, that's all there. Well, congrats. I hope the release is great. It's looking pretty good. How was that? Getting a publisher. What was that experience like? Tell us to the people who are dreaming of releasing our own solo dev games. Because we want to learn. We want to learn. All right. And I'm going to do an advertisement to Brainoid specifically. Hey, Brainoid. We have a new mug released. Go get a mug. Yay. There you go. Next. Hey, I gotta do what I can do to make myself some funds. Bruno says, the publisher messaged me on Twitter first, so they found me. I didn't message. Oh, I see. That's pretty sick. I guess you were like showing off your game, and then like they reached out to you. They were like, I want to be your publisher. That's great. That's a great news. That already means something. Bruno says, and they are really helpful. I didn't ask for any funding, so I have the majority of the shares. That's great. Oh man, that sounds amazing. One day I'll make some trailers and then I'll be reached out, hopefully. Okay. Do I revamp my stuff? I mean, that's the question here. I guess I'll copy and paste my plugin, my behavior tree, GOAP, and state machine plugin real quick. And then can apply this. You know, I got to put money where my mouth is at. All right. I think under Godot project, I have state machine. No, it's not this. It might be on Drive, OneDrive. Documents, easy state machine. I'll copy and paste these. Behavior tree, FSM, and GOAP. So we'll copy this. Bring it over to my little add-on here. Oh, I'm feeling a lot of blood pressure on my neck. I'm gonna get some water real quick. I'll be back. I'll maybe take a little bathroom break as well. Let me read this here real quick though. Lloyd Noir says, I guess you need to go to Twitter. Ugh, I got rid of my Twitter account. I'm permanently on Blue Sky only. Bernway says, they helped a lot with localization. They helped with marketing materials. They provided me a QA team, and that helped me a lot. Dude, QA team is huge. QA team is huge. I don't know, like, I don't know what the cost is. I guess share at before launch is probably a good thing because you don't want to play or pay a flat fee. QA team is huge. I think that's one of the biggest thing you gotten out of that for sure. Lloyd says, Brainoid, really congrats. As a solo dev, that feels insanely good. Yeah, it does feel good. I want to see somebody in my community succeed extremely. That'll be great. And guess what? I will on launch. I'll play it. I'll play it. Well, I am on vacation next Monday, but you said it's launching on 14th, right? Am I crazy? Hold on, let me go back to the link real quick. Replicate. November 18th. So we got some time. Great. Yeah. Yeah, come here, remind me, and I'll play it immediately. And we'll all have fun together. Okay, I'll be back. I'm gonna use the restroom, get some water. Oh my goodness. While I was gone, just a moment. Ugh. Fig decided that it's her time to get on stream. You need to trim your toe. Ow, ow, ow. Ow, ow. Yeah. Lloyd says, cute. Yeah. She's cute, but, you know, she's a distraction. I tried to close the door while streaming. You just decided that it's her time now. Oh my gosh. Stop scratching me. We need to trim her nail, though. Can you guys hear her? Or she's yelping? out of here. Just destroying my carpet. Danimal says, Fig is the real star here. Yeah, exactly. Lois says, she's living the life now. You gonna stay here? No, no. Get out of here. Come here. Go, go, go. Okay, okay. That's that. Cat time. Cat time is over now. Hey, Danimal. All right. We got it fixed, by the way. I don't know if you were here, but the triangulation is fixed now. The maps are great. I do feel like I need to add some new stuff. Also, let's see. This is... Maybe I changed my state machine over here. I'm kind of afraid to change a lot of these things just because I have a feeling it's not going to work very well. We'll see. We'll be deliberate on how we do this. Let's think. What are we missing here? Start the thing. We travel. Game starts. Objective says reach FTL point and escape. Definitely need the shops and upgrades. I'm definitely going to turn off the debug mode. Where's the debug mode? Is it over here? The grid. I think it's this guy right here, right? Render grid. Kind of regret doing this programmatically. These lines are drawn programmatically based on the angle, so as part of that gets a little messy. Let's see. Reset. Initialize combat. Oh, it's this one right here. All right, we're going to get rid of that. Just got to remind ourselves where we're at. Suppose I should stick with the program here. I'm going to look at my game design doc. Even though I feel like I know what I want to do next, I'm making my best effort to stay on track, because I think that's the best way to do it. Maybe that Brainoid can share with us their strategy that helped them finish the game. When do you know your game is done? That's a question, right? Brainoid, do you feel like your game is actually done, or do you feel like it's good enough and then you released it? Or you're planning on releasing it? You just chose a date and then you're trying to meet it. In that sense, I guess having a deadline is probably a good idea. I can't remember where I left my design doc. It's somewhere in here. Let's see. Idea, ship game. Yes, Dread on Arrival GDD. Great. Are we back? Here we are. Close this out real quick. All right, on our roadmap, collapsing star. Oh, that's right. We were in the middle of doing environmental effect. That's what was happening. I remember now. That's a little bit tricky. There's a grid cursor. We're saying that the environmental effect will trigger separately. Config. Trying to remember where we put that little swirly thing. Where was I testing it? This is the environment. Navigation combat. Ah, there's the swirly star. Okay, so the tricky part is, how do we make it look like this is reaching different aspect of the grid? I think that's the tricky part for sure. Environmental effect, I guess. This should be saved. And how it impacts the battle grid should be calculated, I think. Like so. Okay, so we go collapsing star effect. And then I think the idea is we want to clear out one line at a time from the top, basically. So when the environmental effect starts on AI main, that's when it starts, we're going to trigger the battle grid, where we ask the grid to say, remove, like, collapse tiles. Kelso says, oh, you have black hole now. Kind of. I'm not really sure what it is because it's completely fictional, but I do want this like environmental effect of like pushing the player off the edge is so that they can't just stay still. Like different type of life or different type of effect where you basically immediately get destroyed. Right? I think that's fair. Or it it shouldn't push. I think it should immediately destroy basically if you don't get out in time. I think that's more exciting. So we'll say collapse tiles, maybe like destroy tiles. And then we provide the position basically. Though I don't know how I would disintegrate just that part. It would be cool though. Oh, it'll be hard. Having an effect just for that part will be very, very difficult. Given how I'm basically the way I'm drawing the grid. The way I'm doing the grid is I choose this point based on the angle and I draw lines. So I can't just like disintegrate just this part. We probably have to do some sort of effect of like, maybe we need to just color these like this. Ugh. Kind of annoying. Let me think. You know what? I'm going to do something. I'm going to do a UV and do these like disintegrate animation on a certain percentage of the UV. And I think I can do that on the battle grid. This is going to be a very tricky shader, but I think it can work. Now, if I apply a shader to the drawn object does that apply it or not? That's the first question. So under combat, there's a map. No, there isn't a map. Huh, interesting. We'll create the grid here. Grid, and say grid shader, and create one real quick because I just want to test it. I just want to test it real quick. Godot shader. Let's see if they have disintegrate, like a glass disintegrate effect, and then I'm just gonna range it out. Break. Can't imagine I'm the only one who wanted to use this. So, like this, like shattering. Oh, this is so cool. But that's not what I'm looking for. How about disintegrate? How do you disintegrate? Disintegrate. Wait, yeah, disintegrate is disintegrate. It's pronounced disintegrate, but spelled disintegrate. I could have guessed that. Oh no. Shatter. We're gonna have to. Oof. We're gonna have to do it the hard way. We're gonna browse our shaders out here. Looking for canvas item, particle. I don't know how particle shader works. And then we don't need that. Highlight shader. Repeats. Rim lights. What does this do? Melting. Kelso says, what are planning crazy this time, Ezra? What crazy thing am I planning right now? Okay, so my idea is this, and I want it to go like that. Like it's like flame that gets like flutter away. So the lines are breaking apart. And then it goes deeper and deeper where opacity is controlled, you know? And I'm trying to use a shader for that. Not really sure if that's something I can do or not. But technically, you know what I can do actually? I can use noise that are moving like a wave. And then have the shift shifted by the peak, I think. Potentially. I'm not sure if I can do that. It's like a warp plus decay, right? It's a warp plus decay. So for example, let me do this first. So if I do this, well, first of all, it's not really applying it to the lines itself, which is kind of annoying. Like this one is definitely working, but it's saying that, hey, this is not, the shader is not being applied. We don't need the stripes though. We want the actual color. Kelsa says, why you want it warp and decay? That's deep. Is it deep? Okay, hold on. I'm a little disturbed because I think the shader doesn't get applied to the drawn objects. Yep. The drawn objects doesn't get the shader applied. That's annoying. Godot shader on draw objects. No 2D with draw not affected by shader. This is exactly what I'm looking for, right? Let's see what people say. You could draw on no 2D inside a viewport, then apply a screen space shader on that viewport. Then use the viewport as viewport texture. My God. That seems pretty messy. Yes, this is a way. However, you can use any shader, not just screen space shader. Example, scene tree, main viewport container, viewport, and then the node control. Hi, Noah. It is Noah or it ticks Noah? It X Noah? Well, hello. Stretch property or shader here. Huh. That is not ideal. I gotta be honest with you. That is not ideal. Is that really the only way? That I have to put this on our viewport? So anywhere... Noah says, I'm trying to learn Godot. I want to cry, Lamau. It's okay. You'll get there. I trust you. It's a process. It sure is a process. But, you know, things will happen. No worries. You're not too far away. Trust me. You know, one step at a time is the way to go. Just don't rush. Let me try it. Okay, so it needs to be sub viewport. Main viewport container viewport. What's a viewport? Can I make a viewport? I can't. I gotta do sub viewport. And then I gotta do... It's gonna be annoying. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. I'm not very hopeful, but... Ugh. What does stretch mean? Oh man, this is gonna be so bad. Ugh, I don't like it. Really, is that the only way? I have to think about this real quick. I got it. I have an idea. I'm going to create. Oh, it's a little bit janky, but this could work. So I say texture rect or sprite. Yeah, sprite 2D. This is going to be where the battle grid is drawn. No offset is set 0, 0. And then what I will do on render grid, we're actually going to create an image, I think. So Noah says, what are you making? I'm making a game called Dread on Arrival. This is a cross between FTL, Faster Than Light, the game, and a Darkest Dungeon. We have been working on a lot of the other parts. Mainly right now, we are working on this part of the game, which is the little isometric combat plus the little star map navigation. There's other components, but that's not our first goal. We have been working on it. We have a game that's working. Now we're adding some effects to it, like different environment effect, different enemies. And part of that is kind of polishing out some of the effects. So right now I'm trying to find ways to apply shader to make some cool effects down here. Antipathet. Am I saying that right? Anti-apathet Is it anti-epithet? Oh my gosh. I can't believe I was like antipathet. Anti-epithet says any source for learning basics? There are plenty. I always say, depending on your level though, if you're really truly just starting out on Godot engine, if you go to the official Godot engine documentation, I think it's worth it to go to the docs, official docs, and read through this one, getting started. Yes, there are plenty of other resources like tutorials online and YouTube and stuff. But for me, I like to introduce people to reading and following because it sets you up for success. Because when you start to get into a place where you're trying to learn things that are not described to you yet, learning to read, document to gain that information will take you longer, further. But what I say is do this first if it's a really first time. Kind of get a gist of how Godot handles what nodes are, what signals are, how things are related to each other. And you get this like short satisfaction of seeing something actually work. And then you could either try to be creative and make a little bit of changes here and there. But more importantly, I think you should ask yourself specific questions of like, in Godot, if I want to detect collision, or like come up with these questions and then do those. And then after that, you can go, I want to create a genre, a very specific genre of a game, and search how to make that genre online on Godot or on whatever engine you're working on. And then watch those videos, follow along. Yes, it will be too much. It will be too much. It's almost guaranteed that you will not understand everything. If you do, good for you. If you don't, it's okay. What you do then is making sure you take note or search deeply and ask people, what is that? I saw this here. What does this mean? Like just being curious in general. And you start to gather this like information slowly. And don't rush. You'll get there. That's how I see it. That's just generally how to learn new things, I think. Let's see. Galaxy says, what's some advice you could give to an inspiring game dev that struggles with motivation to keep learning and stay consistent? I feel like this question has come through a few times now that I almost feel like I need to just make a video at some point, but I will answer you. But think about this. First of all, before I answer, how does the title, how to stay motivated as a solo game dev? Is that something you would click on? I feel like it is, because a lot of people are kind of feeling distraught in some sense. It's not just being a game dev. How to stay motivated is a question for the ages. I can tell you in my perspective, one is accepting that I need rest and break and actually enjoying the rest and break. That's actually a surprising one because we all know our overachievers slash procrastinators who feel extremely guilty about not achieving something. That is hurting you. That is hurting you. That's my experience. You know, it's psychological, so it's really hard to get out of it. But the problem, okay, I'll give you reasons, and then maybe that'll help you to think about, okay, I'm going to decide not to do this. So if you are caught up by the thought of, I should be doing blah, 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 yet you can't bring yourself to do it. The problem is you needed the rest. You do need rest in order to be creative. You do need rest in order for you to be productive. Rest is part of being productive. But you're not resting with all of your effort if you are guilty about it. Does that make sense? If you're busy thinking about how you should be doing something else and you can't break away from this session of rest, you're stressing yourself out and you're actually wasting your rest time by thinking about that. So commit to your rest. Doesn't matter if it's 1 week or 2 week. In grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. Enjoy your rest and then come back to the project. That'll first of all help you, because when you come back, you're actually refreshed. You're not thinking about it. You know your time's isolated. You're not just going, I got to do as much as I can all the time. It's, I got to do as much as I can, the best I can, when I can. And rest is a rest. That's one thing. And then the second, I think, hey, thanks for the raid, Freshwater Fern. Welcome, Raiders. We got a shout out here. It's good to see you, Fern. Freshwater Fern. Hello, gamer, indeed. Sorry, we're talking about something serious here because on YouTube, Galaxy was like, hey, what's some advice you can give to inspiring game devs to stay motivated? Fern says, but I'm lurking. Yes, you can lurk away. It's okay. Hello, Raiders. Jacob Dev, howdy. Player says hi. Hotel Soap, might have to go to doctor for that. What? A doctor for what? A doctor for motivation? Yeah. I'll prescribe you motivation. Eric says, ooh, it's advice for me specifically. Yes. So I just finished saying you need to rest. And you need to not feel guilty about resting. Because overachievers, procrastinators, low self-esteem people, they're guilty of this all the time. They're so busy and guilty about not doing the things they should be doing that their time of waste or time of rest is wasted by not resting fully. So accept your rest, and come back to your project 1 week later is fine. 1 week of just doing nothing is okay. Just accept that it's okay. It's part of the productivity. Be productive by not being productive and committing to it. Because it's exhausting to feel guilty. That's one thing. Second is, I think you're looking at the goal a little bit too big if you're struggling with the motivation. Because I think the problem is that we have a hard time getting that satisfaction of like hitting that dopamine of like, oh, one more episode. You know, when we're watching a show or when we're reading like manga or books that we love, we do one more page because it's like, oh, we just finished this one thing and I just need to get to the conclusion of this one thing, and then we keep going. We can't stop. Now there's a problem in itself doing that, but what I'm saying is, like, reading or watching is not inherently more fun. It's just that they are structured in ways that they made it good by doing those little things. Just be a good writer for yourself, which is give yourself the goals of saying, oh, if I just finish this, let me just finish one thing and see where that goes. Just go one more thing and see where it goes. That'll help with motivation. And those are two main things for me. Coral says, the way I stay motivated is because of the nagging worm in my brain that requires me to create things. You know, to each own. I feel like that's one recipe to get exhausted eventually. But also another thing, I know this is like a really bad example for ADHD people. Long-term goal, setting a long-term goal and then breaking it apart into a tiny specific goal helps you because you don't have to think about it anymore. Because part of the motivation is like you see this huge mountain that you can't surmount and you don't know how much you need to do it. So it feels like you're forever working towards something that you can never reach. So if you make your goal in ways where you feel like you can reach it, like you can see it immediately, it's like, oh, tomorrow I can do this. That kind of feeling. Try to think about how can I make it so that something is done tomorrow. Something can be done by tomorrow. That's a good way to stay motivated, in my opinion. Otherwise, just have fun. Don't worry about it. Anyways, that's where I'm at. Okay, so for the Raiders, obviously, if you are here for the first time, we have this thing called Berry Folks Gachapon. This is made in Godot, by the way, so we have made it ourselves. On the Twitch Redemption, there's a Berry Folk seed planting and then watering the plant to get your own little berry folk. And the type of berry folks you can get is listed over here on top left. Is this top left? Yeah, top right. with the amount and rarity. And because we just got rated, there's a chance of getting a shiny version. So there's that. Reason I said all that, of course, collecting little cute berry folks is fun and all, but I just made a merch. There's a new merch here. If you're into creepy little things, look at that. We got a little game dev mug. This is a wizard berry that's cooking up Godot engine to make games. So go check it out. A hotel soap says, if you go to a coffee shop, you'll be forced to work. I do like going to coffee shop to work. I like people watching. It does help. Some people like it at home. Some people like it at work. Some people like it at coffee shop. I like doing it in the coffee shop. I like it when people are watching, or I like it when I watch people as I do it. You know what I mean? Thanks for the follow, Crying Donkey. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, I actually particularly like this design because we drew it on stream the other day. Yeah, I drew it myself. I'm what you call an artist. No, just kidding. I'm kind of proud of this one, actually. How creepy it is. I'm actually proud of this one. Oh, thanks for the Prime, Galaxy. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for the follow, Jacob Dev. Appreciate it, everyone. Look at all these notifications. Look at us go. Anyways, I got a little bit distracted, but essentially what I had... Oh, thanks for the follow, Eric. But essentially, I have this space effect that I want to draw, and I want to disintegrate this grid. The problem right now for me is that these grids are... or this grid is drawn on a draw function, which is built-in native draw function of Godot node. The shaders do not get applied to it. So the one idea I have in mind is creating a texture, like a bitmap texture with this instead of drawing it on the node. And I'm trying to see if that's possible. So when we're adding a point, skewing a line, and then we're drawing these lines, we created the line and we're adding it. Oh, these are actually lines that are being, okay. Interesting. I'm not drawing it. I'm actually adding a line. That's a different story. Shoot. I might just have to... That's kind of annoying. What happens if I do... vertical line, add... And it's not going to work because they're not a single entity. I think what I need to do... Oh, I got it. What if I do canvas group and then add the line into the canvas group? So it'll be like grid group. And then remove this real quick. Eric says, can you use the grid as a mask? Interesting idea, actually. Well, the lines, unfortunately, are not texture. I might have to do a lot of surgery here. The problem with Godot right now that I'm using, I'm drawing the line by creating a line 2D, which is an object, not a texture object. So there might be some issues. We'll see. I'll keep that in mind. That is a good idea. Because if I have a full texture and then I mask. Hold on. If I clip the color. No, but then I can't warp then. I need something more wide, I think. Eric says, I wonder if scanline shenanigans are possible. Potentially. I might have to just redraw it. Unfortunately, I think. Croc says, the way I say... Oh, hold on. I read that already. Galaxy says, thanks for the advice. I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, no problem. This is something that I learned only recently after I have worked in the industry for more than 12 years. I got out of it and I said, why? Why did I run so hard? Why was I stressed so much? I can do so much more when there's nobody telling me what to do. And part of it is learning to rest and accept rest. It's okay to slow down. You know when I noticed it? Okay, RIP, my old dog. You know, while I was working, you know, whenever I go on a walk with my dog, it was like, it's a task. It's a job, right? I had to like hurry and walk the dog so I can come back and work, or walk the dog quickly, feed the dog quickly so I can come back and play my game because I haven't been able to play my game, blah, blah, blah. Once I stopped working, I was like, why was I rushing? Why was I rushing this? Like, this is what I live for. Like, it's nice to walk and be patient and let my dog enjoy the walk. You know? Like, what? That's the whole point. So why was I rushing through those moments? And so you just gotta be careful with that, I think, is how I feel. Anyways. Okay. Grid group is a canvas group. And let's see if the clear grid, instead of removing child like this, we'll do it from the grid points here. Boom. And then we'll get the clear grid, remove child to child, which will be from this. Excuse me. We have a cache of that, like that. Great. So now we have a canvas group, which basically, if you look at the meaning of canvas group, it says it merges several 2D nodes into a single draw operation. So it's going to combine all of those things into a single draw operation. And I think if I applied... Oh, what the... Yeah, if I apply a material here, this might work, potentially. So let's do our grid shader real quick. Right now it's red one. So I think this needs to change. The drawing of the grid. This happens on launch. On draw. So I'm going to close this out real quick. Open it up again. Navigation mode. Oh, it's not this one. Navigation combat. There it is. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna launch this and see where it's at. On remote. Look over here on battle grid. There are lines over here, which is kind of unfortunate, but there are also lines over here. Okay. Let me see if I can make it so that it doesn't do that. I think it might be because of this real quick. Map size, let's make it 5 by 5. Line 2D. Okay. Get grid limits. Instead of doing this, we got to do it from the grid group. So we'll do grid group. If the child is line 2D, we're going to do all of these things. Line 2D. Grid group remove. Get grid line. Line 2D is being created here. That's okay. I think that might be it. Let me see. Let's see the remote tier. Oh, these things are still getting edited. wonder where that came from. Let me try from the combat or rogue-like combat demo. So come over here. Oops, I started from the wrong one. Here. We're moving. Okay. Remote of this. Navigation combat, battle grid. It does have these lines. I don't know what these lines are for, why they are outside here. But there are a bunch in here too. This is a real mystery for me. What are they? I want to hide them and see what happens. Oh, weird. The vertical lines are always on top and then the horizontal lines are inside the group for some reason. Okay. So we gotta make sure both the vertical and horizontal lines get rendered in here. Vertical line. Oh, I see. This one probably is why. Line gets skewed. Hold on. Gets skewed and vert line gets added. This is, over here. Okay, cool. Okay, so this should fix it for now. But it does seem like the shader that's being applied to the grid group is not impacting the actual thing. We can test by adding just basic sprite as part of this group to see if it is just the issue of the structure or the shader itself. So I'll do this one right here. Yeah. So this one is red because it's applying this thing. Where I made every 2D space that belongs to it red. However, the canvas group doesn't seem like it's working. Line 2D. Twitch, there's a ad coming in 56 seconds. Just an FYI. Yeah, grid group, I think I'm going to search this real quick. Godot, line 2D in canvas group, shader, not applying. Shader doesn't work when applied to canvas group. Let's see what it says. Canvas group doesn't draw anything, so there's nothing for the shader to apply to. What do you mean? Screen texture instead. So if I do screen texture, that doesn't make sense. Because texture 2D worked. Oh, it does. The canvas group uses custom shader to read from back buffer to draw its children. Assigning a material to canvas group overrides the built-in shader. To duplicate behavior of built-in shader in the custom shader, use the following. So we are... I gotta be careful with the screen texture. Does screen texture do everything including the child or everything behind it? No? I don't know. That doesn't make sense. Line 2D is in its own group. Unless... I want to try something. I want to try adding this shader individually to the line itself. And see if that does anything. You know what? I could actually test it this way. Line 2D. I'm going to add line here and then see what it does to the material. If I copy this material, copy, and then line 2D here, paste. So it does apply. It's just that if it's Wait, it does? It works. Line 2D that is simply a child of the group is getting a shader applied. Sorry about the 3-minute ad. I run it every hour. Unfortunately, every hour run defaults to this. Like, I mean, I don't know what's better. Do I run the ad more frequently so that it's shorter, or do I run it infrequently? I haven't figured out what the best way to do it is. Maybe I need to do that. Hold on. Ads. I mean, 3 minutes is kind of ridiculous, though. I almost feel like if I can get it to 1 minute ad, 1.5 minute. If I do every 30 minutes, it's 1.5 minutes. But is it worth it? I don't know. I don't know what's worse. What is worse? I don't know. It's hard to say. Okay. Well, I mean, that's kind of funky because having a line itself without the material, it does get applied. Yet, if I run this, the grid has all these lines with this material, yet the color is not being applied. How come this doesn't work? This is a line 2D. Material's got nothing on it. This canvas group is being applied. Is a shader not being actively applied? This has to be a bug. It's pretty inconsistent, right? Because if I add line 2D manually on the editor and then draw the line, then it applies a shader. But if I do it programmatically on remote here, it didn't apply it. Is it because it's a specific type of line 2D? Makes no sense. Fox is back. I know you missed me. Yeah, I missed you. Sorry about the 3 minute. I was complaining how like I can't help it because it's 1 hour. 1 hour ad free stream means 3 minutes. But if I make it 30 minutes, it'll be 1.5 minute ad. But it's more frequent, and I feel like that's more annoying. Fox says, yeah, it's not you, bro. I understand. No, I know, but I'm just trying to figure out what the best way to handle this is. But yeah, now I'm a little irked here because I'm drawing regular line 2D. Very regular line 2D. Is it because of the Z index? That makes no sense. And look, if I do like line 2D here, if I create something called line 2D here, and then I draw the points, it applies a texture. Only thing is that I made it so that the ordering is -1 here. That does matter. Why? That makes no sense. Why is the shader only applying to the upper layer? Hello? That's crazy to me. Wait, what? What is going on? Why? Why does it matter? Why does a Z order matter for shader application? I feel crazy. All right. Okay. Shader got applied. So I could do something like, if the I guess this still has to be screen texture though. I can't just go texture UV. Or texture UV alpha is greater than 0. Then apply the color. Is it text? Something like that, right? Okay. Not quite. Does it have to be screen texture? Screen. Hold on. How do I get to screen texture? Screen texture has been removed. Use the uniform version. Uniform this thing. So. That. Okay. I mean, I was trying to... Interesting. It's still... It's not quite working. Canvas group. Says texture, screen UV. Screen UV. Okay. All right. Almost. Else, we gotta make it see-through, right? Okay. Something's working. Huh. How come not assigning color assigns to... Okay, no side effect here. Okay, now I can do warp. How do I warp? With the rotation and we have the fragments. Wavy or warp, right? Let's try this one. There's some copyright here. Get the color map. I'm going to try to do this where, I mean, it's already screen pixel. And then if you look at the color map, it's just random color map stuff. According to the thing, we got the noise, randomness. Okay, I want to see if this gets applied. Oh, Hypnotic. Oh, that's weird. Thanks for the raid, Hypnotic. Wow, I'm actually here before Hypnotic leaves. That's kind of crazy. Hypnotic Games. We got a shout out here. Hypnotic's amazing. He's certified Aussie, so he's got that accent. And he's got the best head in the game. And I believe Covino is getting Hypnotic Head on Godot Fest. In person. Hypnotic says daylight savings changes suck. Oh, that's right, daylight saving. Just says, just Covino says, say what now? You know what I'm talking about. Oh, yes, indeed. In person floating Hypnotic Head. Yeah, exactly. We're here for it. Yeah, thanks for the raiders. Welcome, raiders. I'm struggling right now. I'm trying to add little... My idea is that I want this like edge of the grid to be like disintegrating and then like wavy to have this like black hole effect be part of it. Because so far what we have is we have this thing. I'll show you a progress before everybody has to go. So we have this roguelike version of Dread on Arrival kind of done. We have the star map generated automatically. You go into one of the spots and then the tactical combat starts. And then you can, you know, move and launch and end the mission, etc., etc. But I wanted to add environmental effect. And one of the environmental effect I wanted to add is this thing. Collapsing star, a black hole. And so I'm trying to add a shader. I'm a little bit lost here. And yes, thanks for planting seeds. You have a chance, at 10% chance at getting a shiny version of any of the things you get. Covino already got the shiny Barry Allen. If you try to kick someone with a crown, you can steal their crown, which increases your chance of getting a shiny. So, go get them, folks. Speaking of strawberry folk, if you're coming through Hypnotic's channel, you've probably already seen it. We have a merch now. Go get your little Godot mug. This is the design. Looks amazing, right? I drew this myself. So, yeah. There you go. Boom. Look at that. Oh, this painterly little thing. Kind of reminds me of like a children's book. Those, like a novel, children's novel tale. Look at this creepy little strawberry folk. There's a wizardberry. And I believe there's a wizardberry out here. Yeah, Denimal is a wizardberry. So yeah. Go get them, girls. Alright. So I wanted to disintegrate. I have no idea how to do it. I have a bunch of line 2Ds that are drawn. I put them into a canvas group and I'm applying screen shader on it. I was able to confirm that I can change the color at least. So now I'm trying to add some noise in it and see if it does anything. This is a pixelated noise effect. This is just like the noise itself. I don't need that. I want something that waves an existing texture, right? So let's see if I can have like wavy, maybe? This is pretty cool though. This works. Existing texture. I want something that changes the existing texture. Ripple. Ripple's nice. I like how there's so many shader for like just creating an asset instead of manipulating the asset that you're already using. Ooh, maybe this works. I want to see what this does. Let me apply this. So I just need to do screen texture instead, I think. Oh gosh. I suppose for the color, instead of doing that, I will do one more thing where if this wave effect creates a transparent and white area, right? So if the result of this wave, the alpha is greater than 0, meaning it exists, in those spots, we want to draw the color of the screen texture. So we say it's going to be the same color as the screen texture, screen UV. Now it's going to yell at me, it's being like, hey, screen texture doesn't exist anymore. So I'm going to copy and paste this because I can never remember what this command is or what this line is. So I'm just going to... Oh, almost. Otherwise, the color is just going to be a transparent thing. Like so. Oh, kind of. So we're manipulating lines that are already there. So the idea is I do same thing with like warps and stuff. It should work. Hey player 85858. Hello. Welcome everyone. Okay. I need similar things where it's say warp instead. He's like Ripple? Ripple's good. I think Ripple is the idea. This one is in 3D. I don't know if that matters. This is a viewport based warping. Ooh, transparent ripple. There's some warping there. This might work. Okay, I'm going to do that again. Copy and paste here. Okay. Not terrible. We can just create a random noise here. This is good. Now I just got to make sure this only happens on the edges, depending on the depth, right? I think we provide the edges. Color is VEC4 of this. This is a ripple effect. Hopefully it doesn't impact anything underneath it. I want to see what it looks like actually with the ship. See if it breaks it. Okay, ships are fine. It's kind of cool actually. Even without any reason, it's looking a little bit interesting. Huh. Well, this is a little confusing, but it's a good starting point. Okay. Okay. Can I do a mask? Okay, this is where I start to do... Oh no, mask might ruin this. Because part of me was like, okay, I guess I could just like copy it. Copy and paste. Oh my god, that looks so good. I love that. We definitely need noise here. Yes. Love it. I don't know why the noise is not really doing much. It's doing something, but it looks good. Okay. So the idea is I only want the edges that I want to change. So we can do percentage, I think. Let's do uniform percentage. Uniform percentage. Oh, coverage. And then that will be float. Coverage. And it's a range between 0 to 1. 0.01. By default, it's 1 here. Yep. Okay. And the coverage will decide what's happening here. So if the... Hold on. UV... The wave, background wave. We got the background texture off of that with the wave. When we're drawing it, I think we just need to screen UV. So let me think about this. It's a little tricky, but I think I can figure this out. So the idea is I want this coloring effect to take place. So we have this drawing here where UV is going to 0 to 1. And then Y is going from 0 to 1 here. And then we have something like this. I want the progress to go like this, where coverage 0 is this, coverage 1 is all the way down here. That means we got to figure out this line based on the coverage. And this line is y equals mx plus b, which is a regular linear line, where we say if this is 100%, right? At coverage 1, our y equals some m. I don't know what the b would be. I guess this is bad. At 50%, I think this is a good point. At 50%, we want our y to be, I'm guessing it goes down like that. Hypnotic got the shiny berry. Ooh, what? Oh, you got the shiny dice. That's a rare one. Oh, you also got the mustache berry, which is a shiny wise berry. Nice. You can turn on and off shiny by using the shiny command. Just an FYI. Nice. Shiny wise is a good one. That's appropriate for you. Congrats. Congrats. Shiny all the way, exactly. I'm saying if you want to turn to other skin and then make it shiny. Okay, let's see. This one is at y equals 1. So that's actually y equals 1 equals m. X is also goes like this. I mean, it's actually 1 over 1. So this right now slope is 1 because it increases by 1. So it'll be actually something like this, I think. So the equation for this line seems like it is y equals 1x plus b is 1. So at y 0, 0, when x is 0, y is 1, meaning when x is 0, y is 1. When x is 0.5, y is 1.5, which is actually not true. We want this to be go down this way, right? Because it's flipped over. So technically we should be looking at it this way instead of downwards. But so at x equals 0.5, we want y to be 0.5 as well. If this is the case, where slope is 1 by 1, well, it's going this way. So actually, if we flip it, that's like this. It's -1. Slope is -1. So it's y equals -x plus 1. So 0.5 means it becomes 0.5. Okay, yeah, cool. So y equals -x plus 1, where 1 goes from all the way down here to here based on the coverage. So coverage, when coverage is 0, we want a line where b equals 0. When coverage is 0.5, we want b to be 1. A programming game says, I see trig. I can't help it. I have to do it right now. I'm trying to make a shader. It's been a while, so. Hi, that gamer. I'm very poor. Oh, you're very poor. It's okay. If you keep watching, you can get it. Right now, shiny rate is pretty high because 2 people rated me. So it's at 10%, and you can steal my crown to get more. Hypnotic, change your dice to a shiny berry, or shiny dice. There are a lot of shinies out here today. But yeah. Okay, I think this will work. So I think the coverage translates to 2 times coverage equals B. So I think what we have is y equals negative x plus 2c, where c is a coverage. And because we're saying everything underneath should be gone, where basically for x, if y is less than equal to this value, apply. Okay, this is it. All right. I'm going to keep this up here. So over here, we're saying coverage y limit, which is a float, will equal to this value, negative x, which is screen UV x, plus 2 times the coverage. What the heck? Invalid argument to operate. Oh yeah, because this isn't like so. And so we say if current screen UV y is less than equal to the coverage y limit, then we apply this warp effect. Otherwise, color is going to be the color of screen texture, or texture, screen texture, screen UV, like so. I think. Screen texture, did we already do that one? Yeah, it's already here. I think. And right now coverage is 1, so you can see. Look. Oh my gosh, it's working. Hey, look. This is pretty sick. So I can disintegrate part of the grid via percentage. That's pretty cool. One problem is, depending on the size of the map, the percentage I need to provide may differ. Also, this angle of the line is wrong. My grid line is a little bit more... Slope is a little bit more... so right now we're using -1 slope. This slope is more like negative... I mean, I guess I could calculate it. I guess I could programmatically calculate that here. So we provide uniform float called coverage slope will equal to, right now, -1. And then we can use that here. I'm surprised that this worked the first try. But, you know, it pays to go to school, apparently. Yeah, I'm using my high school math, everyone. Jacob Dev says, dang. Is it impressive? Hey, you know what? Making it work the way you want it to work is impressive, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to adjust this a little bit. Let's see, minus 0.5. Okay, it's a little bit more here. So we're going to go minus 1.5. Okay, that's a little bit less extreme. I think that's pretty cool. Maybe 3. I'm trying to make sure this line is cut like perfectly. That's perfect, right? Sick. This is a really good line, I think. It becomes a little bit more obvious that the slope is slightly off. .4. It's somewhere between 1.3 and 4. 3.5. Okay, we're going from 0% to this. Nice. Okay. What else? What else? I need to figure out how much percentages we need to cover. It does seem like up to point, and it starting from 0.5 is where it starts to do this thing. That's pretty cool. 0.6. And then we got to figure out what the increments is. I guess it's like 0.4 divided by number of spaces would be the increments for this. So I'm going to just make it so that it doesn't have any effect or actual impact on the game, but I just want to see the graphic increase by 1 on every turn. So we'll go to my environmental effect here. Collapsing star. Finn is fine says, oh wait, Hypno Raid. Yes, Hypno Raid. Hypno Raid has been done. Welcome, Raiders. I guess I gotta say this every time. Every time somebody's like, oh wait, hey, Raid. Welcome, Raiders. Oh shoot. It is already 5 though. I kinda need to eat. Well, thanks for noticing. Well, on that note, now that Finn is fine has noticed the raid, and we just solved our shader problem, which is pretty cool. I guess we could raid out here. Finn is fine says, I was lurking and then I was cleaning up after work, and now I'm here. Great, 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 great. All right, everyone. Thanks for being fan of Berry, folks. Once again, a little plug here. Go buy my mug. This is for all Godot developers who loves creepy, cute things. This is a berry folk, specifically wizardberry, or yeah, it's a wizardberry, cooking up Godot to make games. Here we go. Link out here. It's not the best way to support me, I guess. protonpass, if you are in place for a password manager, get 60% off anyways and help me as well. Yeah, etc., etc. Come to my YouTube to find some devlog and tutorial, etc., etc. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, some various times. So join my Discord if you want to know when I'm exactly doing it. Well, I usually rate Hypnotic, so Hypnotic is not here to rate, so we'll have to navigate some stuff here. Oh, Big Boy's here. JD's here. I mean, we rated JD the other day. I guess we could go to Jispo. Have you guys been to Jispo? I haven't really watched him recently, so I don't know what the situation is there. I might as well go Big Boy, actually. I like Big Boy. Out of context, I like the Big Boy games. Not that I like big boys in general. Okay. We're going to go right over here. 2 hours and 50 seconds, or 15 minutes here. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for enjoying the show, and I'll see you around. Gotta hop on, hop on. Most of you guys are Hypnotic Raiders anyways, but do say Ezra Raid if you can. All right. Bye, everyone. And then I got to say bye to YouTube as well as soon as this rate follows through.
So 4 seconds or something. So 4 seconds or something. Maybe a little faster than that.
All right,
So,
that's
hey,
good.
guys,
All right,